And so I discover by looking at all the court records and talking to Bernardo and everything that when they built the house, they built it on steel caissons because it overlooks the cliff.
As you should.
The caissons go under the next door neighbor's house over the property line.
Oh. Wait. So was it just like encroaching on the property line?
Fully encroaching, going all the way under the house next door.
Yikes.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Behind the Lockbox. I'm your host, Stephanie Zalowski, here with
Cameron Barbier.
And today, we are really excited for the guest we have. He is the broker-owner of Fantastik Realty, which actually operates both here in California and Nevada. He is a real estate investor, has done very well for himself. He works with very high net worth individuals, and I'm super pumped to hear some of these stories because he's told me some previews and they're going to be good. Rob Brown, welcome to Behind the Lockbox.
How's it going, guys? Welcome. Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here.
So like I said in the intro, you've definitely worked with some pretty eccentric, is that the word you used?
Eccentric can work.
Yeah, okay. But very cool, high net worth individuals. And I know you've got some stories. So hit me with the first one.
Yeah, very cool. So my history with working with real estate investors is I'll find what I'm buying and then pitch it to my friends and family. And so through that,
and your dad, so you said your dad was in real estate, correct? He was a developer.
My dad was an investor, developer, mostly shopping centers.
Oh, wow.
Office buildings and, high-end flips.
This is in your blood.
It is in my blood.
Yes, I like that. Okay, sorry, continue.
So I'm buying houses in Vegas in 2011, 12, because you could buy a house for 40, 50 grand that rented for $1,000 a month.
I mean, after the crash, it's ridiculous. I know. Can we go back? Maybe not, but
It would be nice.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
These used to be 300,000. Today they're 375. And so ran out of my own money, bought as many as I could.
Good for you.
And so start selling them to investors.
Okay.
My friend's uncle is the founder of a Fortune 500 company that's a beverage energy drink company.
Okay.
And so him and his dad started buying houses, sold them 25 houses. They run out of money, and so we're like, let's bring in the multi-billionaire uncle. So we meet up with him.
Wait, can I be a part of this family?
Yeah, what?
It was a good situation.
Yeah, multi-billionaire.
For everybody.
Seriously, where's that uncle? Maybe we are his kids. I don't know. Anyway.
So we're buying these houses, and we had a process. We had 2 contractors, a management company, and we oversaw all of this for a fee and a piece of the upside. And during the process, the multi-billionaire investor wants to get more involved.
Sure.
And so he starts, adding some of his expertise and knowledge to the process. And one of the things that I just thought was incredible.
Was he like a seasoned purchaser, if you will? Like, had he purchased real estate or whatever? Or was he just,
he's owned a lot of high-end properties, but most of his real estate investments prior to this were private equity deals.
Oh, okay.
And so outside of buying some houses in San Diego with his nephew's group, mostly just a private equity investor.
Got it. Okay.
But he had flipped, shell companies on the stock market prior to founding the energy drink company.
Smart cookie.
And so he's a smart guy, MBA, JD. And so he's saying, we're buying these houses. They're so inexpensive, $50,000, $40,000. Why are we spending $2,000 on a new appliance package? We get the used appliance package for $1,200.
Wait, is there like a used appliance?
Yeah, I didn't know about this.
This is also 2011. So there were lots of companies refurbishing REO and short sale appliance
from
packages.
Pulling them out of properties basically and like reselling them as like used packages.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
And so some people would do that when they're doing a flip, trying to save $1,000. But when you're managing, we had 100 and something of these houses. Wow. And the management company is managing 300 of them in the same zip code. They didn't want to deal with all the problems you have getting the warranty on the used appliances to go.
Right.
And so we set up a call to talk about this with the nephew, his CFO, him, and we had about an hour and 10-minute conversation
about appliances
with somebody who's worth over $4 billion.
But
about
that's how he's worth $4 billion.
And that's exactly what I came to after that conversation, because I'm like, why am I using the new appliance package? Because I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
I should start doing this too.
It's true. I'm not a penny
right.
pincher. I'd probably be super rich if I was, but
that was incredible. I like
wow. And so did you guys, these were investment properties then?
Yeah, these were all investment properties, single
Tenants
family.
were going to come in.
We bought them. We bought them either at short sale and got rid of the holdover tenants. They wouldn't be gone.
Yeah.
Or bank REO, and we remodeled them.
Wow.
Brought them back to like a brand new standard,
Yeah.
and then rented them out. And the idea was to show a track record to go raise private equity and start a REIT.
What a great learning experience, though.
And then when did you come to San Diego?
Well, I came to San Diego when Blackstone started doing it too. And so the prices jumped from 50 grand to 80 grand. And I'm like, okay, now's the time.
Yep.
But the 4 or 5 investors that we were working with are like, oh, it's too late now. There's going to be a double dip. I'm like, no. Things are going to go back to 200.
Yeah.
And of course, now they're 375. But anyways, the investors didn't want to do it anymore. So we didn't have enough of a track record. We only sold about 100 of these to raise private equity. It wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
And so that's when I moved back to San Diego and started doing the
Very cool.
vacation rentals.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about that. So how many properties do you have here in San Diego yourself?
Right now, I have a couple of oceanfront properties,
Okay.
a couple apartments in PB, and I mean, not a lot,
Who's a big
but
deal?
I work with big investors that own a lot of these properties.
Okay.
And the way I got into that is the same way. Well, here's what I'm buying,
Yep.
and you should do this too. Here's the benefit of it. Particularly, vacation rentals allow ultra high net worth, high income people to participate in the bonus depreciation that fully offsets their income taxes.
Totally.
So even though you usually have to be a full-time real estate professional,
Right.
to benefit, there's a loophole for vacation rentals because it's considered an active
Yep.
business like a hotel.
Yep. Correct.
So then you're not loss limited.
Yep.
And that's why they're really interested in that. A lot of tech guys buy these.
That's pretty
Wow.
cool. I know. We can learn so much from
I
him.
know. I'm like, I have a lot
Him
of
and Matt.
questions.
Oh,
I know.
Cam's husband and you would be like.
Oh, it's awesome.
Dangerous.
Oh,
Very
well,
cool.
it's actually we probably shouldn't get them together.
Well, if he was going to buy me a waterfront house, then I'd be okay with that. But
There you go.
Is Matt Barbier buying us a waterfront house?
oh, I wish.
Oh, well, you just got my hopes up anyway. That's sad. Okay. Anyway, well, when you walked in, we were obviously kind of going through like the different things you were going to talk about. The one I think we should go to next, and tell me if I'm wrong. The one up here on the hill.
Oh, that's a fun story.
Okay. This is gonna be wild. She's gonna be like, wait, what? Like, just because we've sold so many properties up there that I think she's really gonna. Go ahead.
Okay, so this goes back
crazy.
to my early 30s, I think it was, in the
So
maybe
last year.
No, I wish. I'm 44. But anyway,
I
so
still
this
can't
is like,
believe that.
yeah.
We're in our 40s now. It's cool. Not you.
I'll get
I'm not there yet
What
either.
do you
Anyway,
do?
go ahead. Anyway, sorry. Go
So
ahead.
going to nightclubs, hanging out with people that go to nightclubs.
Yeah.
And this girl we're all friends with starts dating Dan Bilzerian.
Okay, hold on. Do you know who that is?
I actually do know who this is.
Okay,
Shocking.
I am shocked by this that you
Yes,
knew.
the little horn symbol.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't
He just
even know
like
that.
dates
Sorry,
hot
Dan.
girls.
Although this is pre horn symbol,
Oh, this is before.
Yeah, this
Wait,
is-
he's in San Diego?
That's what
yeah, it's
I
like
said.
2012, 13. So he's friends with my friends in Vegas.
Okay.
My buddy BJ Baldwin.
Which obviously he was a professional poker player out there.
Exactly.
And like I literally just learned all about him.
Dan was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is how he made all of his money essentially in the beginning, right? And then now he's bankrolled and done all kinds of cool things. But okay.
Exactly.
So Dan was living here or coming here?
He rented a house here.
Okay.
Up on Hillside in La Jolla, real
Yep.
modern house, and dating a friend of my friends.
Okay.
And so I knew in Vegas, my friend Frank is his realtor.
Okay.
And, he'd bought some really nice houses, all cash.
Sure.
And so I said, hey, we should try and sell him a house here. So, I talked to my friend who's dating him. I talked to my other buddy who's his golf friend.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, he really wants to buy the house that he's renting. And so I was like, oh, send me the address.
How long had he been living here at that point?
At this point, I think he'd been living in the house for a year.
Okay. And this was back again when you were in your early
2013.
30s. Okay. Yeah. So
2013, so
10 years ago. Yep. Okay.
So I'd have been 34. Perfect math.
Yeah. See?
There you go.
It's easy when it's intense.
Exactly.
Okay. So he
So-
wants to buy the house he's renting.
I see the address and I'm like, oh my God, this is my friend Lose Everything
way.
story. And, a friend of mine who I know through the gumball car races,
Wait,
I have so many questions.
I do too. Oh my God. Okay. We're coming back to that. How do I not know about this? Okay. Go ahead.
so I have a friend who used to invest in high-end spec homes
Okay.
in La Jolla, PB, Point Loma, and he would use his clients' money. They were like ultra high net worth entrepreneurs in Mexico City. A lot of them in the government business or quasi-government, like
Quasi.
selling arms.
Sketch.
And so, they would invest alongside him
Yeah.
in these spec homes.
Yeah.
And one of them was a CDGI house,
Okay.
real famous architect, builder here in La Jolla,
Yes.
up on the top of the hill on Hillside Drive.
Yep.
Stunning, modern, curvilinear,
And the views up there are wild.
panoramic north-facing view over the whole
Yep.
coast.
Yep.
And while they were trying to sell this house through 07, 08, 09, 10, losing the house to the bank,
Sucks. Yeah.
I'm friends with these guys, so I go into these parties there,
Yeah.
watching it go down.
And now Dan is now renting it from them.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he's renting it from essentially the receiver for the bank.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
at this point, Bank of America owned it.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And
Okay.
I still couldn't quite understand why you could never work out a deal, like a short sale or something.
Yeah.
Why didn't this house ever sell?
Especially with that, the bank's always like, yeah, all cash. Like they made deals back then.
Now we're talking about me double ending the deal. So now I'm really doing some research and looking into it, right?
I would too.
Because it was, $9 million house at the time.
Yeah.
And
I'll take that commission. Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I discover by looking at all the court records and talking to Bernardo and everything, that when they built the house, they built it on steel caissons because it overlooks the cliff.
As you should.
The caissons go under the next door neighbor's house over the property line.
Oh.
Wait.
So-
So was it just like encroaching on the property line?
Fully encroaching, going all the way under the house next door.
Yikes.
And did it disturb that? For anyone who doesn't understand or is watching YouTube, Hillside is like a straight drop down. So you have to build with earthquakes here and everything. You have to build houses on caissons. And these are, I mean, how deep are these caissons? I mean,
So it's been a long time, but I'm just reading this, looking at the court records to understand why
I think so.
we can't do anything here.
Yeah,
But typically they go down 30 or 40 feet or more.
I was thinking more, but yeah.
on the
okay.
cliff, down
Yeah.
100 feet.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was- or some on them.
I think that the house that we had, the listing we had, I think it went down 100 feet because he was telling us, but it's wild. I mean, they've got cranes and drills and like these are metal posts that are just like going. So for it to literally encroach under the house next door, okay, continue. That's insane.
Yeah. So
That was an accident.
exactly.
Okay.
And they've been trying to work this out through the mezzanine debt foreclosing, the second. Now Bank of America owns it with the neighbor. Say, hey, let us pay you $1 million or something, get an easement.
And this is the
'Cause
guy
everything's
that
fine.
the caissons went under his house. Okay.
And then I learned through the grapevine, he doesn't want money. He wants the house for half what it's worth. Because he's got a leverage trump card in that, he can just say remove it because it's on his property. He doesn't have to grant an easement. And then you have to demo the house.
Right. They'd have to demo their house, take the caissons out, do the whole thing.
So house,
I know.
8, 9 million, 7 at the absolute minimum.
Yeah.
Caissons, 700, 800 grand, but you have to tear the whole thing down and re-permit the whole project, go through coastal again. Basically,
Nightmare.
he settled with buying the house for $4.5 million or something, and he combined it with his house.
And that's how it stands today.
Yeah, now it's
So it's
18,000 square foot house instead of 12,000.
Wow.
We-
Who lives there?
The same guy.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's the same because they tried to sell it a couple times. I don't think I remember seeing.
I don't think it ever
closed.
sold.
They tried to get 20-something million for it.
It's that huge one that has been combined, and there's like a silver gate out front,
Yes.
right?
It was under construction for years. At the top of the
Years.
hillside.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. It's right near where
Yeah.
where we've got our stuff. Yeah. That is crazy.
So no
So
sale.
poor Dan.
and
Dan
he,
go.
he was like, oh, he moved back to Vegas full time.
He's like,
And
see you
LA.
later.
LA, because him and my
Okay.
friend aren't together anymore.
Oh, sad. Although I think
She's have a lot of.
She's
girls.
happily married, so
you know what? And good for him. Like, I listened to the podcast he was on, and like, he is so forthcoming about all that stuff. And also, he has a book out that I really want to read. You've read
the
it.
book's awesome.
I really want to read it. I mean, he is, I don't know. I mean, I know he's had his crazy party days and he's lived 9 lives, but where he's at now, it was pretty spectacular to see it.
He's
so,
a brilliant entrepreneur on top
Yeah.
of all the partying.
yeah,
Does
no,
he do weed company or something?
Yeah, he has a weed company and
okay.
all kinds of other businesses as well.
Yeah. But just his mindset and how he kind of, I don't even know how to describe it, like what he was saying. You might know better than I because you've read the book, but it was like his mindset and the way he grew up, and like he was in the military and he tried to be on the SEAL team. Like he tried to be a Navy SEAL, correct? And
that's what I read.
I mean, he has the body for it.
There you go.
Okay, wait, like, is he still single?
I don't know.
He's still single, as far as I know.
Like, I'm the single one here. Rob.
To ask my buddy Frank or BJ to introduce you in Vegas. They actually know him.
When are we going to Vegas, Rob?
Good question.
I can sell the house here, there. All right, I'll let you do that, but then I'll move in.
There you go. That's a
Deal.
perfect-
Okay,
deal.
perfect. That's how I'll cut you in the deal. Okay?
I like it. I like it.
Perfect. Cam, that's how I'm going to get my yacht.
Perfect. I'm down.
Dan, call me. Anyway, okay. Not creepy at all. Oh my God, that's wild. So that's
Yeah.
it. That house, it is what it is today, still there.
That never went anywhere other than a month of looking around and realizing
I'm
you
sad
got
for you.
no chance whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not to double in that, damn it.
I know. What are you going to do?
I know, it's true. It's true. Okay. This kind of segues into another story that you had.
Yeah. So the other story that's interesting, where things that seem easy end up being impossible.
That is the, I think that should be like the definition of
Right.
seems easy, impossible.
This is the lesson of real estate
real
development
estate.
101, right?
It's true. It's
so
true.
I buy a place on the boardwalk in 2005,
In Mission.
Mission Beach.
Okay.
You know, it's oceanfront condo, ground floor
No big deal.
in a 7-unit building.
Yeah.
And I picked it because it needed a lot of work.
Good.
Outside the building's falling apart. The inside's falling apart.
Get it for a deal.
So it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But it's right next to Hamel Surf Shop. So there's a commercially zoned building next to it.
Yes.
So I'm thinking to myself, worst case scenario, remodel it, sell it for a profit.
And you bought this for an investment.
Yeah,
We're not going to
for
live in it.
investment.
You were going to, yeah.
This
Okay.
is, although remodeling it, I was like, wait, I don't want to go back to Vegas. Living on the oceanfront's better than that.
hell
Because I'm here remodeling. It's just when
Yeah.
I moved here.
Okay.
Also
okay.
got super lucky because then I'm like, I can't manage all these properties in Las Vegas while I'm living on the beach.
Guys, I gotta go live at the beach.
So I'm just going to sell everything I own in Las Vegas in 2006. Thank God.
Oh my
Wow.
God, you timed that
Yeah.
right.
I like to tell clients, oh yeah, I could see things were overvalued. No,
See in the future.
I just wanted to live on the
I
beach.
had my crystal ball. I just wanted to live on the beach and I got lucky as hell.
Yes.
Good for you. Behind the Lockbox is sponsored by Property Showcase Group. Property Showcase Group has a team of creatives, directors, producers, editors, marketing specialists, and designers that work in tandem to tell and share stories of the built environment. Whether you're looking for full-service production or simply just need content creation, Property Showcase Group can help take your business to the next level. To learn more or to contact Property Showcase Group to schedule a consultation, you can find them at propertyshowcasegroup.com. That's spelled PROPERTYSHOWCASEGROUP.com. PropertyShowcaseGroup.com. Okay, so you are remodeling it.
Remodeling it
It's under or next to Hamels?
right next to it on the boardwalk.
Okay, yes. I know.
And
about
so
that.
I'm like, okay, we should buy the rest of this building, break it off from the adjacent 4 units in a 7-unit building,
Yeah.
buy Hamels and build a hotel there like Tower 23. So we start working towards that. I bring in my
What a great idea.
exactly. So I bring in my buddy from Vegas, who's like a casino family,
Okay.
and his uncle's in the Gaming Hall of Fame and really big hotelier in Vegas. And I'm like, these guys know how to do it.
Just gonna say,
he's
this
not
is where you're
single,
gonna
he's
find your
happily
husband.
married.
Dan's still single.
So
It's cool.
totally. And so anyways, I'm like, if his uncle looks at this place and says it's good, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So he walked by it with his uncle, and his uncle was like, oh yeah, this is Maine and Maine.
Oh, 100%.
Right next to Belmont Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys should do this. And so we run our numbers where, he's going to grad school for real estate. And so we're running the pro forma and we're like, oh, this makes perfect sense. We can just pay the guys next door. We'll remodel the building for them. So obviously they'll let us parcelize. There's no reason not to. We had a legal opinion. We've got everything you need.
Of course.
Setback wise, 3 of the 4 guys next door, no problem. And then the one guy's like, never, ever I don't want a vacation rental next to me. I'm like, but you live next to a 4-plex that's all ghetto vacation rentals.
Yeah.
And we're going to remodel your building, make it brand new.
Hamels.
And we're going to build a
And-
high-end hotel next to you and increase your property value. Never, nothing.
Really?
Oh my.
And so we fought them for years.
Oh,
And eventually we just remodeled the building and sold it off. So no hotel.
sad. Yeah, Hamels is still there, right?
Hamels is still there.
Yeah.
We never bought it.
You never know. Maybe you should look back into that, although property values are a little bit higher now.
The guy we're talking about is currently renting the place for half of market rent to Robert Antonitis from Robert Realty.
Wow. So he's
They're his friends.
owned and he's still just like sitting on it.
Moved back to his house in Point Loma. He's like, I'm never selling it. I'm never vacation renting. I'm never allowing anything to happen around me ever.
That's such a missed opportunity. Sad.
It's not even there right now, so
It's
I
not
wouldn't
there.
even bother him.
And in order to buy that deal, I had to cancel a 15-unit building I had on contract on Ingram that I was buying for $198 a door. That's now worth $600,000 a door, $550.
Oh,
So $2 million to $9 million.
Oh.
Oops.
oops. Yeah.
Okay, well, at least you sold before the market crash. So, you win some, you lose some. God
Win
is fair.
some, you lose
Yes,
some.
yes.
God is fair. That's what I always say.
God is good.
God is good. This is true. Is this trying to religious podcast? I don't know. Anyway.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
There you go.
I like it. All right, perfect. Perfect.
There you go.
Oh my God, that is wild. I mean, you have truly live like 9 lives.
Real estate's fun.
It is fun. I will give you that. I think it's why it still has its hold on us.
Yes, on us.
I love it.
You know. Okay, so typically at the end of the podcast, we play a fun little game,
Okay.
and it's called Punch List.
Okay.
Okay. Or do you have any other crazy stories you want to share?
No, I'm ready for punch list.
Oh, you're gonna love this. So Cam's gonna ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
Kind of like rapid fire, like just first thing that comes to your head.
I'm in.
Okay. All right.
Great.
Go.
Okay, what's the craziest or pettiest thing that's ever killed or almost killed one of your deals?
The craziest thing that's ever almost killed a deal was
Or has killed.
I recently had a very large sale on a brand new construction home.
Mm-hmm.
Not too recently, so no one tries to guess what it was. But, over $10 million.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to maybe fix the air conditioner in our brand new house. And, their realtor's like, we'll get them to fix it.
Yeah.
And my client's like, they need to fix it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, imagine if this $800 repair,
Would have killed.
I mean,
the deal.
the agents just pay for it, but I thought it was pretty brand new house.
Oh, I've bought deals like that
$10
before.
million.
Where literally people are kind of stuck and you're like, you know what? I'm going to give you the $1,000 and like just call it a day. You
But
know what I mean?
I just closed a deal like that. I got to give them a shout out because they were
Yeah.
awesome to work with Barry Estates. And it was a very similar issue that happened. Same thing with
Yeah.
the air conditioner.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, we're going to fix that 100%. It's under warranty. And
Amazing.
they did.
Well,
and
they
so
do-
99% of the time, everything
They do so
happens
much
the right
business
way.
that they would make it right even if the client
Yeah,
didn't want to.
their client, my client, everyone loved each other.
That's
and that's how
fantastic.
most of the deals go.
Yes.
Yes.
So the
it's
crazy
true.
stories are a minority.
It's true. Yes.
They're
It's
fun to talk about.
They're definitely fun to talk
it
about.
is really fun. The whole premise here.
Yes. Okay, what's the weirdest thing or situation you've ever walked in on?
Well, the weirdest thing I ever walked in on was sad. And so, yeah, I was going to, so yeah, we were buying these foreclosure short sales in Vegas. And
And this is after the crash.
yeah, it's after the crash.
Okay.
And we bought one that was previously owner occupied. It closed and they didn't move out.
Okay.
And so we go knock to like make contact.
Which
and see
happened a
what's going
lot.
on. Vegas doesn't have the whole, oh yeah, don't pay rent. You can just keep living here like California does. So they're
the Wild
gonna
West.
leave in like 10 days. So we
Yes.
want to make sure that's clear.
Right.
And we knock and some kids open the door and there's cockroaches everywhere. The walls, on the baby in the corners. I was like,
You're like, oh my
are your
God.
parents home? And they're like, oh, they don't speak English. Talk to us. They're at work. I'm like, I can't talk to you guys about this. I need to talk to your parents.
Right.
Like they're not going to be home. They work days till much later. They see.
Right.
I'm like,
They probably had more than one job.
so it was just sad seeing there's a ton of these cockroaches. And after they had moved out, we realized the whole building, everyone had to move out
like
and be
infested.
tented. It was some crazy kind of, $5,000 to get them gone with tenting.
Slumlord, right?
So it was really sad the way it was, but no, it was
so
owner occupied before.
Oh, was it? Wow. Well, when I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I actually worked for, dare I say the name, Countrywide Home Loans.
Okay, so
during the crash. I was living it with you. And after the crash, I transitioned, instead of going, I was doing underwriting, I transitioned into REO properties. And so I was reviewing appraisals and we were like basically reselling those loans to Fannie Mae. Obviously, when Countrywide went under, as we all know, Bank of America came in. So I then started working for Bank of America and we had to sell those properties back, whether it was to like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, whatever. We had a whole database. And I will never forget some of the images on these appraisal photos of either the way people left stuff because they were just so pissed off, or people were just living in squalor. And it was devastating. Not only what we were going through as a country, right? But then just to see some of these photos, and then people would set fire to houses and the roof would be gone, or they would smear feces like all over the wall. It was just like, or spray paint the whole inside with like cuss words and like, just stuff like, it was wild. It was a wild time to be alive.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Countrywide.
And on that topic
their
of these loans,
Yes.
it shows that we never learn.
No.
My dad was a First Republic client in the 90s, a great bank to work with if you're trying to buy something.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll do business with them. So I went and met with them in 2014. And so I met with the person that runs their lending, because that's what I'm really interested in.
Sure.
Out of the La Jolla branch back then.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, what did you do before you worked here? She said she worked here for like 6 years. She's like, I wrote the credit box for Countrywide, and I was the director, regional manager of their approval desk in Southern California. And I'm like, okay.
Well, I was in college during that time, and I graduated college in 2007, and then obviously we crashed, whatever, a few months later. And I just through college, like I worked kind of part-time, but like 20 to 30 hours a week, just depending, right? And I remember just being like, we had a thing called NINA, no income, no asset, or meaning literally you could get a subprime loan.
Or Ninja, which was no income, no asset, no job.
Yes.
Some pulse can fog up a mirror.
Like wild, right? Yeah. And I did not know, looking back on that, like I was a young, dumb college kid. Like, I mean, I just was doing what I was told.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you don't know. And I look back and I'm like, how was this even possible?
2004 in Las Vegas, and this is kind of like The Big Short, but like I didn't put any of this together. I just didn't understand. I was like,
right,
I'm doing something wrong.
Right.
Me and my buddy are trying to impress this girl we're friends with who's a cocktail waitress, and she's a real estate investor too. So we're like, oh, we're going to tell her how many properties we have, whatever. And so we do that. And she has 3 times more properties than us. And I'm like, I don't understand. And then she's explaining to me how she does it. She doesn't put anything down on any of the properties.
No.
And I'm like, how are they going to cash flow? And she's like, that doesn't matter. You just sell them for a profit in a couple of years. And I'm like, what if they go down? And she's like, they don't. And I remember like,
do you know whatever happened?
Yes.
It wasn't great.
I think you saw it at Countrywide.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I did. I was there. Yes.
Vegas houses, like I said, went from 300 grand to 50.
And I was in Phoenix.
Yeah,
so we were in basically the exact same market.
Florida, Nevada, and Arizona were the 3 that
got hit the worst.
Really got creamed.
Really creamed. And we had so much new development at that time, right? And so that was the thing. Like in college, I was like, oh, I can buy a townhouse with like nothing down, new construction, but you know what I mean? Like it was wild.
I mean, it was really crazy. I bought my first property at 20.
Yeah.
I'd asked my parents to co-sign. And they're like, sure, we'll co-sign. Mm-hmm. Lender's like, you don't need a co-signer. And I'm like,
dude, you don't even need a job.
How do I go to college? I don't have a job. And they're like,
whatever.
That's fine.
You don't need that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
who needs a job to pay?
Well, I guess there's no reason for them to come down here and pay for another notary.
I know. It's crazy. It was wild. So hopefully we never go back to that. But anyway, yeah. So I was with you there. But okay. The last one's fun.
If you could be anything other than a real estate agent, what would you be and why?
I would be the ultra high net worth investor that I represent.
Yep.
I like it. I think Kate Silva was like, what was his answer? I don't remember the guy's name. And he's like, I'd rule the world. And I was like, ugh.
That's awesome.
You mean you'd be a superhero? He's like, no, I'd invest.
Yes,
I'm like,
I would be.
I know.
Rule the world.
Rule the world. Rule the world. Anyway.
Like
thank you so much for being here. This was so much fun.
It was my pleasure. I really enjoyed it. It was my first podcast, so hopefully it did okay.
Yeah, you did great.
Nice. We'll have you on again. We
love it.
We'll let some more
stories brew.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Maybe sell some more celebrities some stuff, and then we can come back and talk.
I will work on that.
Yeah. Get Dan to hook it up.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right.
He's the one that got away.
He's the one that got away for you.
Maybe I can bring him back.
Maybe not for you.
Maybe not for you. Maybe I'll bring him back to you.
Exactly.
To San Diego. We can try this.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Buy on Hillside. There we go.
We'll buy that one house that
it is for sale again.
Hey.
The 20 million is better than 9.
Yeah. I mean,
so maybe it all works out.
Exactly.
God
got
is
a better
good.
commission.
This could be us.
This could be us. God is good. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Rob.
Thank you guys.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching and listening. We'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening. Behind the Lockbox is produced and edited by Property Showcase Group. If you like this podcast, please share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, or review this podcast. Thanks for your support. See you next week.